It's time for Wake Up with Witcher. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's 7 o'clock, getting us started on this good old Friday morning. We do have a lot to talk about this morning, but this morning's Wake Up with Witcher is sponsored by Jiffy Lube Knoxville. You can visit them online at jiffylubeknoxville.com, and if you visit any of their 9 locations from Clinton to Maryville and right in the Knoxville area, you can receive a $20 discount on your next service today. Jiffy Lube Knoxville, keeping you on the road and keeping your car running smoothly. Again, visit them online at jiffylubeknoxville.com. All right, let's go ahead and take you outside and show you what it looks like. Oh, hey, what's going on here? Where we do have an accident on Interstate 40. That's Interstate 40 and Paper Mill. We do have a traffic jam right there showing up on that at this hour. And we will continue to see some slow-going conditions on the roadways. We've got the center of circulation moving its way our direction. And that's going to also move its way on in. So conditions will continue to deteriorate for the rest of the day today. A live look there in Union County here at this hour. And again, soggy and overcast and gray with the rain showers that will continue to spread their way into the area. But the good news is that the rain's not going to be with us all day long. We'll start to see improving weather conditions as we get into the afternoon and early evening hours and through the weekend, but still rather unsettled for the upcoming weekend as well. So happy Friday, everybody. It has been an onset of a lot of rain, more rain, and a lot of wind as this tropical system continues to head our direction. So let's show you the latest information. We do have still a tropical storm that's from the National Hurricane Center. Winds now at 70 miles per hour, gusting to 90 miles per hour right now. The storm is moving at a very good clip at 30 miles per hour to the north. It's going to track its way to the north and northeast as we head through the day today. It's going to move right overhead. That's going to put the strongest winds on the north side of that. So I would say Knox County towards Tri-Cities will see the strongest wind gusts throughout the day, but the heaviest rain will likely be across the Southern Valley. That's what we're looking at right now. And then when you look at the latest winds, wind gusts and wind speeds around town, they're starting to pick up a little bit. Sustained winds now nearly 20 miles per hour up towards Greenville, Tri-Cities, Rogersville. A lot of folks have already been reporting the wind starting to pick up around East Tennessee and much of your region. But we do have some power outages already. Only less than 5% mostly in most counties across town. Some of my Witcher weather watchers were saying they've already had some toppled trees, and I think that's going to be the story. Widespread power outages is in the forecast for the day today. What's going on in North Carolina and further to our south? Major power outages, not to mention historic flooding and flash flooding that's ongoing over into North Carolina. So the winds are going to be a problem here this morning. Right now, the winds are gusting to about 20 miles per hour in Tri-Cities at McGee-Tyson Airport, 14 mile per hour wind gusts, up to 33 over towards Soddy Daisy and Dayton. And that's the story. The winds are they're just now getting started. And the rain is going to continue to be with us as well. So as I mentioned, we have Tropical Storm Helene. The center of circulation is right over Athens, Georgia, moving its way towards Greenville. And then it's going to start to kind of curve to the north and northwest. And that's going to put the center of circulation right over East Tennessee. So here's the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. It is going to continue to work its way to the west and northwest and then just kind of meander as it's going to combine its efforts with another upper level low that's been hanging out with us. That's what brought us the rain showers leading up to this event. So now, again, we've seen, it's a 1-2-3 punch, if you will, with all the rain, the flooding, the flash flooding, the rising rivers and lakes. The rivers, we're going to be talking about Newport. So if you're joining us from Cott County in the Newport area, hopefully you've taken the precautions already, but if you have not, you have a little bit of time, but the river is going to be overdoing its banks. Here's the Futurecast wind gusts. From now through 8 o'clock, you can see how the winds are really going to start to fill in. The center of circulation is going to come barreling right through the center of East Tennessee. As we get into the 9 o'clock hour, look at the wind gusts up towards Tri-Cities, Greenville, Rogersville, Tazewell, Morristown. We're talking 30, 40, 50 plus mile per hour winds as we get into the late morning hours. Across the Southern Valley, not nearly as strong of a wind expected here because the strongest winds associated with this system are going to be on the northeastern side. Through 10 o'clock, still very strong winds across upper East Tennessee, and this is insult to injury for those folks because here's the problem. We've seen upwards of 6, 7, 8, 9 inches of rainfall in upper East Tennessee so far. More rain and strong winds likely to see major power outages across town. By 11 o'clock this morning, the center of circulation is going to be moving its way right through, right around Oak Ridge, Wartburg, Scott County, somewhere around there. Still hanging on to those strong winds by 11 o'clock this morning, but the winds are going to shift from the northeast to the southeast as the storm continues to work its way towards western Kentucky. By noon today, the winds will start to fill in across the central and southern valley from Monroe County to McMinn, Loudon to Blunt, so it's going to be rather windy and gusty as we get into the noon hour today. And as we get into the 3 o'clock hour, maybe some kids are going to school, maybe some kids are not going to school. My kids are not, obviously, but there's a lot of schools that have been closed or at least on a 2-hour delay. So if some of the kids are heading home from school today at 3 o'clock, they're going to get bounced around on the bus a little bit. Look at these winds gusting straight out of the south then at 3 o'clock here this afternoon. As we get into the 5, 6, and 7 o'clock hour, the wind will start to relax. The center of circulation is going to be in western Kentucky. And so while it will be rather gusty, we're talking sustained winds here this evening, probably about 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts upwards of about 15 to 30 miles per hour. So if there happen to be some high school football sports tonight, or if you have outdoor plans here tonight, we're not talking about a ton of rain, but it is still going to be rather breezy and gusty. And that's why the National Weather Service yesterday issued and upgraded us from a high wind watch to a high wind warning. That does include all of East Tennessee except the Cumberland Plateau, where they have a wind advisory. Winds will be sustained 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting to 50 plus. Higher elevations 30 to 40 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting to 70 to 80 miles per hour. So if you live in, say, Sevier County, Greene County, the mountains of Unicoi and Carter County, heads up, very strong winds are on the way. So a wind advisory is in effect for Fentress and Cumberland County, stretching back to Middle Tennessee. High wind warning for the valley, but a tropical storm warning over into North Carolina. So that's the story when we're talking about the wind. Now let's switch gears and talk about the rain for a second. Over the last 2 days, you can see the onslaught of rain from Blunt to Sevier, Jefferson, and Tacot Green, Hawkins, Hancock, and even Hamlin County, Tri-Cities area. We've seen lighter amounts across the Western Valley and the Cumberland Plateau and further to the south. Still some much needed and beneficial drought-busting rain. But when you look at the last 3 days and then also the last 5 days, so over the last 5 days, we've picked up anywhere from 3 to over 9 inches of rainfall. The bullseye across the mountain counties, upper East Tennessee over the last 5 days. Incredible amounts of rain, and the rain is not over yet. All right, so the flood watch continues all the way through the day today and into Saturday morning for some locations. We've got flood warnings. We also have flash flood warnings over into North Carolina and those blue shaded areas. Let me take myself off for a second. Those blue shaded blinking areas, those are flash flood emergencies. So there are water rescues that are ongoing over into North Carolina. Terrible, terrible historic situation that's taking place, not just with the storm system itself making landfall as a Category 4 hurricane at 11:10 last night. Mind-blowing that this storm continued to rapidly intensify from a Category 1 to a Category 4 in less than 24 hours. It is now continuing to bring in widespread flooding, flash flooding, and historical floods that will continue to pile up over into North Carolina. Poor folks over there. If you don't have to travel, do not travel off to our east. Now, we also have a chance for maybe a few isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center has put upper East Tennessee from Greenville all the way to Tri-Cities under a level 1 risk for severe weather. The reason why is because you will be on the southeastern side of the circulation. And that's the side of the circulation that we can get tornadoes. We can get severe weather. Not very large tornadoes by any stretch. They typically are EF0s, EF1s, but cannot take the threat of a tornado or an isolated tornado out of the equation for upper East Tennessee. We're not talking hail or anything like that. But when we talk river levels here, this is very important because Newport is a location around East Tennessee and Cott County that can get flooding due to the Pigeon and the French Broad River. Right now, the forecast crest is at 18. The river right now is at 10.5 feet, which is in moderate flood stage already, expected to become major flood stage and all the way up to 18 feet by 8 o'clock here tonight. So as I mentioned, if you're joining us from Newport or Cott County, keep in mind flooding is ongoing right now and major flooding expected to occur throughout the day. Now, when we talk about the French Broad River in Newport, current stage is in minor flood stage, 12, almost nearly 13 feet. The forecast, though, is another 10 feet, which would put it at major flood stage of over 20 feet. And I mentioned it yesterday, but the last time this happened, and that forecast crest of 23 feet is the record, It was set back in 1867. So we're talking about near record flood stage for the French Broad River. It doesn't stop there. Some of the other rivers that are already getting close to coming over their banks, i.e. the Nolichucky, up into parts of Greene County. So we're near the action stage, but we're expected to get into minor flood stage as we get into early Saturday morning. You got to realize all this water over into the mountains of East Tennessee, North Carolina is going to trickle down. Well, not really trickle, but race down the mountains and fill up the rivers and streams. And so that's why we're going to continue to deal with major flooding. And also the Clinch River expected to hit minor flood stage by Saturday morning. All right, here's the latest Futurecast. We've talked about the wind. We know the rain's going to be with us, but let me walk you through that. So we pick up our timeline here at 7 o'clock here this morning, and we'll run you through the day today. So we'll go from now through noon. The good news is that the heaviest rain will not be with us all day long. So we are going to start to see improving weather conditions when it comes to precipitation. From 10 to noon, a lot of this rain will quickly subside as the storm races to our northeast, because the heaviest rain is going to be on the north and northeastern side of the storm. So now we'll start to see conditions dry out as we get into the 3 o'clock hour. Is it going to be totally dry? No. We're going to stay mostly cloudy. We may have some hit and miss sunshine at times, but I do think and anticipate the rain to be spotty in nature and should be very, very light, which will definitely help everything slowly but surely recede, especially in certain locations. Now, the mountain counties and some of the rivers that get fed by the mountains, not necessarily the case at all. All right, so just by the end of the day today, the Southern Valley, I would say from south of, say, Pikeville, Dayton, and Athens, could see anywhere from an additional 2 to upwards of 4 to 5 inches of rainfall. So we are still talking about the heaviest rain to fall across the Southern Valley of East Tennessee. Lighter amounts expected from Blount County all the way to the Tri-Cities. And the reason why is the current winds are coming in out of the southeast where we have the rain showers right now. So we get a rain shadow effect taking place. Is it raining up in those locations right now? Absolutely. But as the storm approaches, we should see a little bit of a downslope wind, which will shut down the rainfall up there a little bit more. But still expecting anywhere from say a quarter of an inch of rain to, again, over 2 to maybe 4 inches of rainfall throughout the afternoon. Temperature-wise, not bad. We're going to be in the low to mid-70s from noon on. Again, can't rule out a little bit of hit and miss sunshine. All right, let's go into the weekend, shall we? Because overnight tonight, again, the storm, Helene's and the remnants, anyways, at this point of the game will be into western Kentucky. And I'm going to show you something really cool called the Fujiwara effect. That's coming up here in just a second. That's what's taking place here throughout the day today. But I'll explain those details here in just a moment. As we get into the Saturday morning hours, again, mostly cloudy, maybe some scattered light rain showers. The wind is still going to be a little bit on the breezy side, but nothing like what we will see and experience throughout the day today. And then heading through our Saturday afternoon, if you have any outdoor plans, do anticipate this upper level low now to slowly meander its way from west to east. And so that's going to keep the clouds with us, and that's also going to keep a chance for some scattered light rain showers. I actually think Sunday we'll see a little bit more rainfall around the area, but scattered and light in nature. So by Saturday afternoon, again, just a few scattered light rain showers expected. As we get into Saturday afternoon and evening, much more of the same. So again, not a ton of rain, but at this point of the game, I think we're all tired of the rain. We didn't get a lot of rain for quite some time for the first half of the month, and now we've got pretty much more than what we need for the month of September, just over the last 5 days. All right, heading into our Sunday, here comes this upper level low. It's going to be on the move. So watch how the rain will slowly, it's light rain, of course, but watch how this will all kind of pick up a little bit through our Sunday afternoon. Some spotty showers are anticipated. I don't anticipate necessarily thunderstorms, although at this point of the game, can't rule it out due to the fact that we'll have some cooler air aloft. So a little bit of instability will be forming. All right, so all the way through Sunday, the heaviest rain, again, the Plateau and the Southern Valley, lighter rains, the Central Valley and Upper East Tennessee. But before all is said and done, and the storm system is a thing of the past, we could pick up anywhere from a quarter to over 4 to 5 inches of rainfall. So again, it's not over yet. Let me show you the big picture. So this is that upper low of a low I was talking about. Now, this is not the whole story because I was talking about the Fujiwara effect. Let me show you what I'm talking about here on that in just a second. But that's that upper level low that's going to keep us a little bit more unsettled as we head into the upcoming weekend. So 100% chance of rain for the first part of the day, then we'll knock that down to about a 20% for the second part of our day, okay? So don't think that 100% is going to be raining all day. Remember, percentages never tell you the whole story. It doesn't tell you timing, duration, intensity, or rainfall totals. It just tells you if you are going to get wet that day. That's all it tells you. So likely to see less rainfall Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll start to see those rain chances dwindle as we get into next week. Temperature-wise, nice. Some nice fall weather is on the way. If we can get some sunshine next week, it's going to feel amazing. And hopefully this rain will benefit the fall foliage, although it's going to be a tough one thanks to the drought that's been ongoing. All right, so again, remember to download the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have it yet, just go to the App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. It's everything you need to know for weather here in East Tennessee. I'm all over social media with Mike Witcher TV. I also have an East Tennessee Weather Facebook page. I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and YouTube. Go smash and subscribe that YouTube button. Listen, the 24-hour weather channel is something that you can put on your house, your businesses, your waiting rooms. It's there to provide weather 24/7 for us here in East Tennessee and only East Tennessee. But the app does travel wherever you go. So if you are going to be traveling for work, for pleasure, whatnot, make sure that you have your GPS services notifications turned on, and you'll get notified of inclement weather anywhere in the country. All right, I want to talk about this Fujiwara effect, okay, for just a second. Now, I'm going to pick up the timeline here at the hour, okay? So here's the storm. And so what this is it's a phenomenon. It's a rare phenomena that occurs, meteorologically speaking, every once in a while, but it's fairly rare. It's basically when you have two low-pressure systems, i.e., we've had the upper-level low that's brought us the rain showers earlier this week. We have Tropical Storm Helene that's continuing to work its way on in. So you have two low-pressure systems spinning the same direction. But what happens is they get caught up inside of each other. And sometimes they'll dance around a little bit from time to time and kind of create an unsettled weather pattern for several days. This time around, it looks like the main low-pressure system is going to scoop up the energy from Helene, and as it does so, this just becomes one massive low-pressure system. And that's what's going to bring us the unsettled weather this weekend. So the Fujiwara effect, something you learn, or maybe you didn't know, and listen, the more you know, the better we are. Crazy stuff. Crazy phenomena, record-breaking storm, record-breaking flooding, and a rare meteorological occurrence, the Fujiwara effect? It has been a week, my friends. It has been a week. All right. The winds are starting to pick up. Let's go to the chat and say hi to everybody. Hopefully you got everything you need to know if you have to hit the road. We sure hope you have a great day. Do travel safely. Stay on top of the weather. Check in on social media. And listen, anything that you see on social media, I'm going to be putting a lot of information out on social media throughout the day today. If you think it's important for your community members, please like and share for community awareness. That really helps everybody understand, because only 10% of you actually see what I post on a regular basis unless you actually come to my website or actually come to my Facebook page. I do have a lot more weather information online at easttnweather.com. There are links to download the app for Android and iPhone online as well at easttnweather.com. So there's a wealth of weather information, no excuses not to get good, solid weather information, and realize that East Tennessee Weather, if you're new to the platform, is all weather and only weather, because weather is the number one thing that affects everybody in the world every day. All right, so headed to Kentucky to get on the ark. All right, Dwayne, there you go. Good morning, Linda. We got Ronnie joining us. Kat, good morning. Jerry, Buck, Tom, Cheryl, Donna. Some of the regulars for sure. We've got some newbies on here as well. Hey, Jeannie, look at that photo, Jeannie. I love it. Jeannie works at Food Line in Maryville. I guess it's technically Maryville, right? Food Line between Maryville and Townsend. I met her when we went camping the other weekend, and now look at that. Look at her profile pictures, the two of us. I love it for sure. And it was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for joining us this morning, Jeannie. We've got Lorraine joining us. Kimberly, Eli, once there is more daylight, I'll get more footage. I'll share some of that footage from Eli coming up here in just a little bit because we've got some more flooding, and I'm sure the flooding has gotten worse up there and will continue to worsen throughout the day today. Brandon says, the wind is getting pretty wild here in Northeast Tennessee already, and I think that's conditions will deteriorate. And so do anticipate, if you did not charge all of your electrical devices, please get those charged now and have them ready to go so you have a way to communicate with the world around you, have a way to check in on weather data throughout the day today. Super important, because I do anticipate some widespread wind damage and power outages. But I do appreciate the report there, Brandon. We got Lisa joining us. Lee says wind is picking up in Powell right now. Ruth says, have a safe day, everybody. Batten down the hatches. That's right, Aaron. Hopefully you have a good Friday, my friend. Let's see. What's expected for La Follette, Jacksboro, and Caravel? Pretty much what everybody's going to see. Increasing wind. You will see more rain before the day is over, although we don't have a ton of rain showing up right now in that part of town. So let me just, while I talk about this, let's just keep this on the screen so you can see the loop of how the center of circulation is now over Athens, Georgia, moving its way, racing its way at 30 miles an hour to the north. Remember I was talking about the possibility of severe weather. Look at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Let me move my face here for a second. The bottom right-hand side of your screen towards Charleston, Myrtle Beach, where we do have tornado warnings. That's what I'm talking about. So those are the feeder bands, basically, of moisture into the low-pressure system on the southeastern side of the low that could produce severe weather. So as the center of circulation comes over right over East Tennessee, some of those southern bands could produce severe weather before the day is over. The greatest risk would be upper East Tennessee near Tri-Cities, but that's exactly what I'm talking about with the possibility of severe weather. All right. I do appreciate you all joining me this morning. I hope you have a great day and stay safe. Thanks for all the reports. Thanks for the photos, the videos that have been shared on social media. I will be passing those along to everybody else throughout the day today. And if you get any photos, you can share those through the East Tennessee Weather app under Witcher's Pictures. It's at the bottom. I'll show you that here in just a second. Super easy way to get pictures right to my weather computer. But of course, social media as well is a great tool. You can't upload videos through Witcher's Pictures, unfortunately. It's just photos. So if you have videos, you can email them to me, mike@easttnweather.com, or just put them on social media and tag me in them. Let's see here. Kathy, you got to check your rain gauge, my friend. See what it is. See how much rainfall we got in the hood. And I have to give a big shout out to City Heat and Air. They actually, I don't know if you saw it on social media yesterday, they came and finished my whole home generator install yesterday in the rain because they knew the storm was coming. We knew we were having power outages. So East Tennessee weather will not lose power from here on out. Now, said, there may be a little bit of hiccup if we were to lose power here today, if I do broadcast live, if we're doing live weather updates at noon and 6 o'clock tonight, or even sooner if we need to. If we lose power, come back, check in. For some reason, it's knocking down one computer. I got to try to get that fixed here today, hopefully. But the goal is, thanks to City Heat and Air, that we will never lose power during severe weather events, which is great news to pass along. All right, Aaron says, Alcoa City Schools are closed for the day today, and we'll make a decision about our football game at home sometime today. I was wondering about the high school football games. We will see improving weather conditions, but again, with school being closed, are they going to have the games? I don't know. I think they'll be able to have the games, no doubt, easily. Now it's going to be a little windy and gusty this evening, but and the fields are going to be soggy and muddy. But as long as they don't care about tearing up the fields, it's not going to be raining. It's not going to be storming per se. Kimberly says, we got all big trees around our house. I do too as well, Kimberly. So I think most of us do here in East Tennessee have a lot of trees around our homes. So it's quiet right now in La Follette. Calm before the storm, I guess. Prayers for everybody affected by the storm. Thanks, Pat. I appreciate that. Krista says, please stay safe, everybody. The Cocke County schools and city schools are closed as they should be, thanks to the French Broad and the Pigeon River. That could be overdoing its banks here throughout the day today to major flood stage. Terrible, terrible situation. I do have a friend of mine that's going to be out there getting some video, and he'll pass that along to me throughout the day. He's shared some yesterday, so I'll get those on the air here in just a little bit as well. It does take a lot for Knox County schools to close for sure. As I mentioned yesterday, I just wish they'd kind of hold our hands and walk us through the process a little bit. Send us the push alerts through the apps and all school systems anyways. Just say, hey, listen, we're monitoring. We'll keep you up to date. We have another update at, just like we do in weather and TV news. We give you updates on when we're going to be updating things again. That's all they have to do. And I think the conversation would stop pretty quickly, or the side chatter, if you will. All right, so let's see. Kimberly says the wind's starting to pick up. Granger County schools are closed today. Thanks so much, Mel. I've got Joanne joining us this morning. Good morning. Still seriously praying for the storm to pass without damage. The wind and the large trees around our house concern me, as they should. My friends in South Georgia lost every tree in their yard last night. Helene was still a Category 1 when it passed through them. Mind-blowing. Atlanta, Georgia, Category 1 hurricane. absolutely mind-blowing. Good morning, Cameron. How are you this morning? We've got Jennifer Barton joining us this morning. Good morning. How are you? Carolyn, windy and Powell, no rain as of right now. And again, I don't necessarily know that we're going to have the intense rain that we have had over the last couple of days. Still a steadier, solid rain, which is going to keep the rivers and creeks from receding. And that's really what the rain did yesterday afternoon. It was just enough to not create too much major flooding around town, but just enough to keep the water from actually receding. Mel says, be careful out in Powell and anywhere near Beaver Creek. It leans towards flooding. Thank you. If you're joining us from Powell, near the Beaver Creek area, just keep in mind, we are looking at the possibility of some flooding there. Any flooding going on in Knoxville? I've not heard of any. I've not seen any so far, which is great. I'm surprised North Shore and the North Shore and Paper Mill area didn't flood out, but so far so good. Let's see. I will show you how to add cities to the app here in just a few minutes, Kimberly. Yeah, they're going to get a little bit more rain in Middle Tennessee because they're going to be a little bit closer to the center of circulation. Tammy says the winds are starting to pick up in Knoxville. The winds will continue to pick up. We'll get updates throughout the day with the National Weather Service. And, of course, if you have any reports, make sure you pass those along to us. The wind's starting to whip up around Jefferson City countryside. Thanks, Sandra. The water falls are flowing like crazy. I wouldn't say yet, Buck. Got the center of circulation still to our south and west. Center of circulation is still, let's see. Basically from Knoxville, the center of circulation is, wrong one. Center of circulation is still about three hours away, I guess. That would not be right. This is moving at 30 miles per hour, right? So, yeah, that's about right. So about 3 to 4 hours away is the center of circulation. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, between 11 and noon. So the model forecasts have been pretty accurate on that so far. They've done a very good job on what this means for us and how this is all going to play out. Let's see. If anybody wants to do some golfing today, I guess work on your slice a little bit. It's cart path only at the golf courses. Let's see. Eli said just had a 50 mile per hour, 10-second sustained wind in Churchill. Eli, thank you for so much. There is that wind. It's going to continue to increase from here on out. All the way through about noon, and then still breezy and gusty this afternoon, but the strongest winds will be from now through, say, about 10 to noon this morning before the storm races off to our northeast. Brady says, I've obsessively watched you way too much weather for the past 5 days. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I'd rather be been crafting. You can still craft while you watch, right? That's why I said I'm on Roku TV and Amazon Fire and YouTube. You can just have it on the background. Let's see. We're still waiting the last minute decision to leave mid to late morning, headed to Chattanooga, then over down through Alabama. Wait till this afternoon. Wait till the center of circulation moves its way through. Although if you're going to Alabama, maybe you head off now. If you get out of here now, you're going to be traveling south, so you're going to actually get away from a little bit of that center of circulation because you'll come down. If you're going to Alabama, what are you going to do? Go down to 60, what is that, 65? 65 anyways? So I think, 59. Sorry about that. 75 to 59. If you're going down to Alabama, you probably, I would either wait till this afternoon after lunchtime or maybe head out now before the strongest winds get here, which are starting to move on in as we speak. You're very welcome. That's what it's all about. You got to learn about the weather to understand the weather, right? How will the weather be in Morgan County and Deer Lodge? Conditions will go downhill. You're likely to see probably another inch to 2 inches of rainfall before all is said and done. You're likely to see winds gusting to about 40 to 50 plus miles per hour. Now, I think I'll go 30 to 50 miles per hour wind gusts because I think the strongest winds will be closer to the Tri-Cities area where Eli just reported a 50 mile per hour, 10-second wind, sustained wind up in near the Tri-Cities. Good morning, bud. How are you? Got Juanita joining us this morning. Got a lot of newbies here this morning, so thanks for jumping in here and giving me some weather reports. Brian Hatmaker says light rain and wind in Clinton right now, and of course deteriorating through the day today. Let's see. My brother lives in Roan Mountain. The few times I've seen this morning, it's bad up there. Flooding, trees, and power lines down. Lots of rain and wind is happening. Yep, right on top of the mountaintops, the peaks. If you live in a higher elevation than anybody else around you, you're going to get the strongest winds. So far, Imes Nature Center has not canceled. So far, Imes Nature Center canceled the movie night tonight, but they have canceled it tonight, but we will be at Tractor Supply in Seymour tomorrow from 10 to 2. Good job, Felicia. Pigeon Forge, still a breeze, not reached wind yet. Glad I asked that question earlier this week. Glad you did too as well, Chris. All right, Filmer of Life says, widespread power outages and folks displaced by flooding in Johnson County, Tennessee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that report. Glad you're joining us from Upper East Tennessee this morning. Yeah, I mean, it's that stationary front. That's the problem is we had that stalled out front that brought us the incredible amounts of rain over the last 5 days. And now we've got a tropical system moving its way through. So not great news, obviously, but here we are. We'll be through it here before long, and we'll be able to kick back, relax, and enjoy a little bit of a quieter weekend, although it's going to be a little unsettled with some clouds and rain, but nothing crazy by any stretch. Absolutely. Always remember to turn around, don't drown. You never know. Water is a very efficient eroder. Look at the Grand Canyon, my friends. Yes, it took lots of time for that Grand Canyon to be formed, but water's super efficient. And so if you come across a flooded roadway, even if you travel that road day in and day out, you don't know what's going on underneath that. Did it tear up the concrete or the pavement underneath it, which it clearly could. And remember, it doesn't take much water to float a car as well. I don't think we have that much water here around town, but we could in some locations. Let's see. KUB is reporting 567 power outages so far, so not a ton so far. Let me come to our power outage map. We'll show you the expansive power outages because there are a lot. And let's see. Here's power outage percentages. So you can see clearly where we have the major power outages, right where the storm made landfall and surrounding it. I mean, incredible. And then you come down to Tennessee and North Carolina. We've got a lot over in North Carolina. But if you come down to East Tennessee, we do have, we're looking at, let's see if I can't get that to be a different number. We'll actually give you some better numbers here. Powers by numbers. There we go. 200 without power in Fentress County. We've got, let's see. Yeah, about 400 or 500 in Knox County. Granger County, about 300. Sevier County, about 400. 100 in Ray County. Ray Meigs. That would be Meigs County. 400. Closer to Chattanooga. So Chattanooga area, about 400 to 500 people without power. But you go over into North Carolina, Asheville has 72,000 people without power in the Asheville County. Waynesville, 10,000. We've got over 150,000 further to the south and west. And so that is the story. Now there's so many folks without power. That's the wind that's going to be increasing into our area today. Great questions, though, this morning, and great conversation. Absolutely. Thank you very much, City Heat and Air. We've had 7 inches in White Pine so far. Crazy. The wind's getting bad and starting to pick up in Hamlin County. Thanks, Carolyn. Oh, yeah, I have other ways to do it. I just wouldn't be in the studio. Your lights are flickering. So here we go. Again, make sure you have those electronics all powered up. You're welcome, Jerry. Good morning. I'm awake. I'm awake. Is that what we say to ourselves every time we get out of bed? I'm awake. Hold on. Here we go. I'm awake. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy. Electric keeps flickering for Katrina. Is your generator up and running? It is up and running. It's not powering on right now. Ironically, for those of you that have been following the whole generator thing, I did lose power twice last night. Like literally was finishing up in the studio and all of a sudden, pew, and sure enough, I heard the generator kick on. So woo, yay, it works. It works. All right, I want to answer a few more questions here, and then we'll get on with the program. If anybody doesn't have any major questions to ask, most schools are closed. Maryville City schools are closed. Our school is closed, but yet our football team is still traveling to play their game. It's crazy what we do for sports, right? KCS canceled all extracurricular things. Thanks, Cassie. I appreciate that. It's not just football. It's a safety issue. Agreed. Winds are picking up in Morristown. Thanks, Sue. Regina says we've got 7.25 inches of rain as of Wednesday. Today's not over yet, so maybe another 1.5 inches. We are in Grassy Fork area, 6 miles above Hartford. Awesome. Thanks, Regina. First time you ever heard flash flood emergency? It doesn't happen very often, but that's where they're doing water rescues. And literally people have to get out immediately. Flash flooding. Remember, the flash flood is an onset of quickly rising water versus what we're seeing in Cott County and Newport, which is a gradual increase. And that's a flood warning, not a flash flood warning, or rather a flash flood emergency. Good idea. If you need to do any cooking or anything like that, maybe do it this morning. Get everything done this morning. Make sure you don't open your refrigerators and freezers. If you do lose power, you got about 4 hours for your refrigerator and freezers to kind of hold on to that coolness if you do lose power. So hopefully, I mean, listen, the crews are going to be out and about helping to restore power. So all the linemen, give a big shout out to them. If you see them in your neighborhood, maybe go get them some bottle of water or something like that because the linemen around town, they've got a crazy job. And they're going to be super busy throughout the day today. They're going to be out in the elements. They're going to be out in the wind, trying to restore power for everybody that loses power. So big shout out to all the linemen and all the power companies around East Tennessee for trying to keep our power up as much as they possibly can. Sometimes it just can't help it when trees get toppled on power lines and they got to go out and fix it. But have some patience with them if you do happen to lose power today because that's all you can do. It's just kind of wait it out. It's not like they're not working really hard. Wind is picking up right now in Halls Crossroads. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Hopefully you saw what I said earlier, but Upper East Tennessee would be the best location for seeing severe weather if we were to see any at all. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, be worried about them, but make sure you call in on them every once in a while. Make sure they're okay. I mean, the rain's really starting to fill into the Tri-Cities area. Again, we'll get off this map and show you the radar. Again, so you can see how the rain's really starting to fill back into Upper East Tennessee. Heaviest rain right now across the central southern valley towards Chattanooga, the Cumberland Plateau, from Athens to Cleveland along Interstate 75. Winds are starting to pick up in Jacksboro. Thanks, Jamie. Also in Rogersville. Oh, Heidi. Oh, Heidi. So Jennifer's joining us from Mooresburg. Winds are picking up hard, pushing me when I got out of the car. Good news to know. That's Short Mountain. Here at work, Short Mountain. Never heard of that. I've never heard of Short Mountain before. What do you do up there, Jennifer? You're welcome, Betty. Everyone be safe. Wind is picking up in Kyles Ford in Hancock County. Kyles Ford, by the way, is where we had the EF1 tornado the other day, just between Sneedville and Kyles Ford area. So hopefully you fared well from the severe weather that you saw just a couple of days ago, Jennifer. If you happen to have any pictures from that, I'd love to get those and share those with everybody else if you have a chance, or if you happen to have any, you can upload those to the Witcher's Pictures link using the East Tennessee Weather app. Got Rebecca joining us this morning. A little windy here in Morristown. Rain has slowed down just a bit. How will the weather be in Chattanooga tomorrow? Have to go there. It should be great. I mean, obviously, you have to watch out for some localized flooding as you travel down 75 into Chattanooga. But yeah, improving conditions across all of East Tennessee, really throughout the day today. So I think between 10 and noon, we're really going to start to see things. I mean, they're going to still be with us. I don't want to say they're going to be calming down, but I think after the lunch hour into the evening, we'll start to see everything kind of quiet down a little bit. The rain should subside anytime after about noon today. Not totally, but we'll start to see it really subside from what we've seen over the last couple of days and what we're getting ready to see as, again, the center of circulation is just a couple hours away. Just a couple hours away from making its way over East Tennessee. That's what I'm talking about, Jordan. Shh, I didn't say that. I mean, temperatures are in the 60s and 70s right now. Feels pretty good. It's muggy. Still common in Wartburg. Thanks, Robin. I appreciate you. By the way, if you're new to the platform, I do Wake Up with Witcher Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning. And again, hopefully you have the East Tennessee weather app. I do want to show you. You're welcome, Nathan. Are you heading off to work this morning, bud? The tornado threat is not high, but it's not zero either. So it's something to keep in mind. All right, if you don't have the East Tennessee weather app, hopefully most of you do by now. If you're joining me on this platform, I kind of tell you about it all the time. But this is what it looks like when it opens up. If you just want to check in for quick daily forecast weather updates, I do that at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. On the weekdays. Today, I will be broadcasting live at noon and 6 p.m. Likely be broadcasting live, but if you have the East Tennessee weather app, just make sure you allow notifications. I will send a push alert saying, hey, listen, just an FYI, I am going to go live for a live weather update, just to kind of keep everyone in check on what's going on. But if I don't do that, you'll be able to get your daily forecast weather updates right there. With that, just click that. And you also have a 1 minute with Witcher there. Folks are starting to see this. It's a great tool. It's literally 1 minute. It's a little longer this morning because we have so much to talk about. But you get everything you need to know for weather in about a minute every single day. It's shot vertically, so it's meant to view on the cell phone. But then, of course, your extended forecast, which sometimes can go from 2 minutes to over 6 minutes. It kind of depends on what's going on. And, of course, the interactive radar right here. And the interactive radar is a great tool, as I mentioned multiple times, because there's not too many that do this. Let's see if it works on my computer. Sometimes my computer's all locked up. It does work on your cell phone. But you give your past 2 hour radar, and there it is, and a Futurecast radar of 2 hours. So you can see over the next 2 hours, the center of circulation is expected to be pushing just to the south and west of Asheville, North Carolina. So over 2 hours, it's 7:41, so 9:41, 10, 11. So yeah, between say 10 and noon, that center of circulation will be coming in overhead, at which point the winds will be gradually increasing. But as I mentioned for you folks in the Tri-Cities area, look at all the rain that is moving your way. So we've got a lot of rain over into North Carolina. It's still inundating that. That's why we have those flash flood emergencies. But the rain's going to pick up from Rutledge, Jefferson City, Newport, Greenville, and Johnson City here over the next couple of hours. Now, not necessarily for everybody, because I do think that we're going to get a little bit of a rain shadow taking place across the foothills. But the general idea is that heavier rain showers are going to pick up there. We also, let me come back out. We'll go down to Chattanooga area and show you what the Futurecast is doing there through the East Tennessee weather app. Again, this is the past radar of 2 hours, pauses at the current hour, and there's your Futurecast of radar of 2 hours. And so Chattanooga, that's why we're expecting anywhere from 2 to 4 plus inches of rainfall in Chattanooga as this moisture kind of rotates up from Alabama, rotating around the low pressure system. For those of you that don't know how to, I do have the 24-hour weather channel right there as well. Remember, I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. Go smash and subscribe that YouTube button. Help the platform out. But you can also get access to that 24-hour channel right there where I am currently broadcasting live right this moment. TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. So you can see that. Go smash and subscribe that YouTube
But Witcher's
button.
Pictures,
help the platform out.
But you can also
get access to that 24-hour channel right there where I am currently. I don't know why that's still playing. So Witcher's Pictures, where you can upload the photos, severe weather. You can get severe weather alerts. But Kimberly also asked, how do you add another city? So maybe you're traveling around somewhere. Maybe you want to keep an eye on where your parents live or your grandparents live or your kids or grandkids, whatever it may be. You can keep on top of the weather situation for them with the East Tennessee weather app. Come to the very top of the screen, and there's a little tiny plus button. If you click that little tiny plus button, it takes you to another screen where you can type in a location. So if we want to type in, we'll say Wartburg. There it is, Wartburg, Tennessee. You add that. You click on it, save it. Make sure you allow the notifications and the alerts. And then you come back, and it will come back. So I don't know why it's not working this morning on the computer. But again, it's because I don't have everything set up completely. Due to the fact that now I'm going to be stuck in here. Due to the fact that I don't have everything operational on the app on my computer since I use it for other things. But It's a great tool. It's 100% free. It's all owned and operated, if you will, by local sponsors and advertisers. So if you ever see any of my sponsors or advertisers in town, give them a high five, give them a big hug, and say thanks for what you're doing to help East Tennessee weather out, i.e. Farm Bureau. Farm Bureau is a big one right there in the top right-hand side of your screen. Of course, we've got City Heat and Air that has installed the whole home generator to keep us on the air all the time, and so many other local sponsors that are keeping us afloat to keep you in the know every day. Oh, that's a good idea, Lee. I've even charged my batteries that have USB ports on them to charge the phone and the lantern. Great idea there. I've got a big old block charger as well. Let's see. We've got a lot of chat going on here. Power went out some areas in New Market. Power's out in some areas in New Market. Thanks for that. No school in Hamblen County. Winds are mild but constant in Englewood. Down 75. Nothing's happening right now in Claiborne County. Are you still predicting the bad weather? I sure am. I mean, we're not talking severe weather. Now we're talking rain and wind with the power outages due to trees toppling down. I think we're going to see that quite a bit. Not high at all, but can't be totally ruled out for basically, I would say, Morristown towards the Tri-Cities area. Can't be totally ruled out for the possibility of maybe an isolated tornado or two. But again, not a major player. But it is possible. But we're not looking at like large hail or anything. This is a warm core system because it's a tropical system. So it has different characteristics, different aspects to the storm itself than, say, typically a fall or spring cold front that produces severe weather, damaging winds. We're not looking at necessarily like damaging winds per se, but isolated tornado can't be ruled out. Upper East Tennessee. Sparta hasn't closed schools as of right now. No schools in Monroe County. All the kids are off today. My kids last night were like, hey, why do I have to go to bed when you go to bed? We don't have school tomorrow. I said, son, you still got to go to bed. It's not the weekend. Getting a little windy in Friendsville. Thanks, Roy. The temperatures are amazing, aren't they? Do you know how high the Clinch River is going to get? Yes, I do, actually. I just shared that moments ago. Hopefully you saw it, but if you did not, let's go ahead and answer that question again. The Clinch River... There it is. Clinch River right there expected to crest at 14 feet, which puts it in minor flood stage. That's the Clinch River above Tazewell. But anybody joining us from Newport this morning, hopefully, if you're in and around the Newport, the French Broad, or the Pigeon River, you need to have an evacuation plan. You need to be preparing as of right now because we are expected major flood stage and near records for the French Broad and the Pigeon River. Well, for the Pigeon River anyways. Hopefully I answered your question there, Jennifer. Short Mountains is a surface sand mine. Where are you located, Jennifer? Where is Short Mountain? Interesting. Is a surface sand mine. Very cool. What county is that in? What city are you close to? I can't rule out some hit and miss sunshine, I think, as we get into the afternoon. I think the clouds will fill back in more as we get into Saturday and Sunday as the upper level low swings its way back in. So, yes, I do anticipate a little bit of hit and miss sunshine. You have finally hit the wind stage in Pigeon Forge. The winds are starting to pick up. Thanks, Chris. How bad is it going to be in Cookeville, Tennessee? My mom is in the hospital there. So, Selena, you can actually add Cookeville to the East Tennessee Weather app. And so you can add that to the app, and so you can stay on top of what's going on weather-wise with your mom. They do have wind advisories there. They're expecting rain and wind, but not nearly as bad as what we are anticipating here around town. Good morning, Sage. How are you this morning? Just received another emergency alert on the phone. What did the alert say there? Flash flood warning has now just been issued for Chattanooga. So a brand new flash flood warning has just now been issued for the Chattanooga area. That does include Marion County, Hamilton, Sequatchie. Marion, Hamilton, and Sequatchie. This runs until this morning at 7:45. So the National Weather Service has just issued a flash flood warning. When you look at the rainfall totals over the last hour, we'll go to the last, rainfall totals over the last 12 hours. So I got to switch radars. So let's see, not velocity. We will get, there it is. 12-hour rainfall. So, yeah, we've got upwards of, over the last 12 hours, 1 to over 2 inches of rainfall across the Southern Valley over the last 12 hours. And so the National Weather Service has just issued that's flash flood warning for, again, for Sequatchie, Hamilton, and Marion counties. So we'll keep you posted on how this all plays out. This is going to be an onslaught throughout the day today. I do anticipate this to occur for most of the day. So we're going to see off and on flash flood warnings. Keep in mind, flash flood warning means it's either getting ready to happen or it is currently happening. So you need to head to higher ground as soon as you can. Is there any flooding going on in Gatlinburg? I've not seen a ton of reports in actual Gatlinburg. I'm sure the Pigeon River is definitely flying high, but no major flooding as of right now, the last time I checked. But Fall Creek Falls is amazing. I think all the waterfalls. Okay. So we've gotten down to the end of the questions. For those of you, we've been going for an hour now. For those of you that have stuck around here this morning, you know what time it is. We're going to have a little bit of fun this morning because it's raining, but nothing major going on at this moment of time. All right, so if you're new to the platform, we do some national holidays, and so we've talked a lot about the weather. Let's take a quick little break and talk about national holidays for the day today. It's National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. It's National Day of Forgiveness, and it's National Scarf Day. Anybody wear scarves out there? My wife likes to wear a scarf. National Brave Day. All right, and we've also got National Corned Beef Hash Day. I'm gonna give that a big shout out. I love me some homemade corned beef hash, not the canned stuff. I tried the canned stuff not too long ago going, okay, I like corned beef hash. Let's see how this goes. Awful stuff. But homemade corned beef hash is amazing. It's National Crush a Can Day. Okay? I didn't mean to click on that. And it's National Chocolate Milk Day. I'm going to go this. I'm not a big fan of chocolate milk whatsoever, but it is Friday, so we'd like to see what's going on for the next couple of days. Let's see what our national holidays are for Saturday. National North Carolina Day. We'll be praying for you on National North Carolina Day, thanks to all the rain and the wind that has moved its way through. It's National Save Your Photos Day. I think we all do that nowadays. They're on our cell phones and in the clouds somewhere. It's National Ghost Hunting Day. We also have National Drink Beer Day, September 28th. National Strawberry Cream Pie Day. That sounds amazing. National Good Neighbor Day. Be a good neighbor. If you have elderly neighbors here during this event throughout the morning and into the afternoon, check on your elderly neighbors. Make sure that they are doing okay. It's National Public Lands Day and National Hunting and Fishing Day. That is Saturday. Then as we go, and we also have National Family Health and Fitness Day. That's all Saturday. We'll come to Sunday because we got to look at Sundays. Urban National Wildlife Refuge Day, National VFW Day. I'll give a big shout out to that. That's coming up on Sunday. National Coffee Day. I'll also give a big shout out to that. And Gold Star Mothers and Family Day. That's all happening this upcoming weekend. Crazy. All right. I don't know why when I take certain shots, you don't have my microphone. We'll fix that. Anyways, that was live looking Hardin Valley from this morning. What am I missing? Am I missing anything this morning? I don't think I'm missing anything this morning. Again, I hope you stay on top of the weather all day long. I will send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. Again, realize that if you watch the channel, if you watch those forecast updates, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m., those are recorded. So if you catch it at 10 o'clock at night, you're like, what's going on? It's recorded at the certain times. I record those literally 15 minutes before they air. But I will send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. If you've not seen this yet, you'll see what the platform looks like. Again, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. Smash and subscribe to that YouTube button. Go like and share everything on social media for community awareness. And if you love the East Tennessee Weather app, thank you very much. I do appreciate you downloading the app. It means the world to me that you join me every single day. I don't do a Wake Up with Witcher over the weekend. We do take a break from the live weather segments, but all East Tennessee weather platforms will be updated this weekend, all weekend long, all day, every day, from yours truly. I sure hope you have a wonderful and a safe day. Keep me updated on social media. Send me messages. Let me know what's going on in your neighborhood as conditions continue to deteriorate. Again, the winds will continue to be on the increase throughout the day today. Throughout the morning hours anyways, where the winds are currently and power outages are likely going to happen, but we will continue to see increasing wind. Rain's going to be with us. The winds are already gusting up quite a bit out there, and that will be the story for the day today. Travel safely. Turn around, don't drown. Check on your neighbors. Charge your electronics. Do everything you need to do to prepare yourself for any sort of long-term power outages, because if we have a lot of them, the crews are going to be busy and it's going to take quite some time to get the power up and running again. All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Thanks for joining me on this finally Friday morning. Woohoo! For Wake Up with Witcher. I'll see you back here on Monday.
From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
Good morning. Happy Friday. A historic storm has made landfall and is racing our direction. Happy Friday, everybody. We sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. Travel safely and stay on top of the weather situation. You can do so easily by downloading the East Tennessee Weather app or staying online at easttnweather.com. We're talking about Tropical Storm Helene that's continuing to hang strong. It's racing to the north and basically the north and then eventually the northwest at 30 miles per hour. That has been the only savior with this storm system, even though it's brought us incredible amounts of rain over the last several days. The faster this storm moves, the better it's going to be. And that's been the story across parts of the Deep South, although historic for sure. So still expected to be a tropical storm as we get into the 2 o'clock hour this afternoon. And then just kind of linger across much of the region hours, which will bring us unsettled weather this upcoming weekend. But initially, from now through the late morning, early afternoon, the wind is going to be with us. Watch this. The winds are going to be cranking this morning, especially across upper East Tennessee, where we've had incredible amounts of rain that we'll talk about here in just a second. And so power outages due to downed trees are looking likely. The center of circulation of Helene is going to be working its way up across the northern plateau by noon. The winds will shift from the northeast to the south as we get into the afternoon hours. And the winds are going to be cranking for sure all day long. So expect a windy, gusty day around town. The winds will gradually relax a little bit as we get into the evening hours, but still a breezy and gusty evening ahead of us. And that's why we do have that high wind warning. Lower elevations, winds are going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting to 50 plus. Higher elevations will be 30 to 40 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting to 70 to even 80 miles per hour. So we have a wind advisory for the Cumberland Plateau and back into Middle Tennessee, a high wind warning here in the valley and all of East Tennessee, and a tropical storm warning over into North Carolina. We've seen a ton of rain, not just over the last 2, 3, but also the last 5 days where many of us, the western parts of East Tennessee, have picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain. The eastern part and parts of the southern mountains from Blount County through Sevier County, we've seen anywhere from 4 to over 8 inches of rainfall, and that's why this is not good news as this wind comes in. Flood watch continues through the day today and tomorrow. We've got major flooding going on over into North Carolina where flash flood warnings and flash flood emergencies have been taking place around the area. There have been water rescues and water is inundating much of North Carolina. With that said, stay on top of the weather situation in upper East Tennessee as well. We do have a slight chance or a level 1 risk for some isolated strong thunderstorms as some of these bands come on through. But as I mentioned, the water is going to continue to rise. Let's talk about the Pigeon River in Newport. I said this yesterday, but if you're joining us from Newport, you need to take action immediately because just by the end of the day, we're talking about major flood stage. The Pigeon River could come upwards of 6 feet over its banks and over major flooding. The French Broad River, also in Newport, expected to be a major flood event as well, 3 feet above major flood stage. It doesn't stop there. We've got the Nolichucky up into upper East Tennessee. Flood stage is flood forecast crest, I should say, is about 15.5 feet, which keeps it in minor flooding, but close to moderate flooding. And we also have the Clinch River in Tazewell. The forecast crest is 14 feet, keeping it right there in minor to near moderate flooding. So flooding and flash flooding is going to be ongoing as the rain continues to swing its way on through. But here's the good news. The rain is not going to be with us all day long, or at least not the heaviest rain like we've seen over the last couple of days or like we will experience here this morning. So as we get into the afternoon and into the early evening hours, the rain should subside. We actually may see a little bit of hit-miss sunshine, but as we showed you, the wind is going to be cranking all day long. Forecast rainfalls just by 7 o'clock here tonight. The heaviest rain is going to be across the Southern Valley. That's where the onset of some flooding and flash flooding risks do exist. Lighter rainfall expected across the mountains and foothills thanks to some downsloping winds, but we'll see some decent rain across the northern Cumberland Plateau and the Northern Valley. Overnight tonight, the storm system's not done. Now, this storm is going to kind of combine its efforts with our upper level low that has been hanging out to our west for the last few days. That's what's helped to bring us all the rain that we've seen this week. So do anticipate mostly cloudy skies as we head into the overnight hours. We'll see a few spotty showers. So through our Saturday, keep the umbrellas handy as we will have a few scattered showers around the area. Not expecting a lot of heavy rain by any means, just some scattered light rain showers, but still unsettled and still rather breezy as we get into the weekend, but not nearly as windy as it will be this morning. Heading into our Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, you can see how we're going to have a little bit more rain around the area. But again, that's going to be on the light side. Now, as we head into our Sunday and highlighting that, we'll go Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, a few scattered light rain showers. Now, as we get into our Sunday, this upper level low is going to start to swing its way through the area. And as we get into next week, it will move its way on out. High pressure builds its way back in. But do anticipate scattered showers throughout our Saturday and Sunday as the wind backs off. So when you look at your rainfall forecast all the way through Sunday night, the heaviest rains across the Southern Valley, central northern Cumberland Plateau. But still, we're looking at the possibility of an additional third an inch to upwards of 2 to 5 more inches across the Southern Valley. Here's that upper level low I'm talking about. This is what's going to linger through the weekend. Look how massive this thing is. Eventually, this thing kicks its way on out. It weakens and moves its way up to the northeast here as we get into the start of next week. Therefore, the rain chances will come down. Everybody's getting wet here this morning, but then that will fade away as we get into the afternoon. Rain chances will stay elevated this weekend, but as I mentioned, just scattered light rain showers expected. The main event is happening for the first part of our day today. And temperature-wise, we're going to see those temps staying in the 70s for the next 5 to 7 days. So make sure you stay on top of the weather forecast every single day, not just when inclement weather moves in, but you'll need to watch that throughout the afternoon. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's 100% free. Just go to your app store and search East TN Weather. The interactive radar gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. Got your daily forecast weather updates that I will post throughout the day today. And your interactive radar, as I just mentioned, not to mention access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee. Again, just search East TN Weather, all one word. Like, share, and subscribe to all the platforms to help provide community awareness about what's going on throughout the day. Have a great day, stay safe, travel safely, and check back in frequently. We'll see you back here soon.
From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
Good morning, happy Friday. A historic storm has made landfall and is racing our direction. Happy Friday, everybody. We sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. Travel safely and stay on top of the weather situation. You can do so easily by downloading the East Tennessee Weather app or staying online at easttnweather.com. We're talking about Tropical Storm Helene that's continuing to hang strong. It's racing to the north and basically the north and then eventually the northwest at 30 miles per hour. That has been the only savior with this storm system, even though it's brought us incredible amounts of rain over the last several days. The faster this storm moves, the better it's going to be. And that's been the story across parts of the deep south, although historic for sure. So still expected to be a tropical storm as we get into the 2 o'clock hour this afternoon. And then just kind of linger across much of the region hours, which will bring us unsettled weather this upcoming weekend. But initially, from now through the late morning, early afternoon, the wind is going to be with us. Watch this. The winds are going to be cranking this morning, especially across upper East Tennessee, where we've had incredible amounts of rain that we'll talk about here in just a second. And so power outages due to downed trees are looking likely. The center of circulation of Helene is going to be working its way up across the northern plateau by noon. The winds will shift from the northeast to the south as we get into the afternoon hours. And the winds are going to be cranking for sure all day long. So expect a windy, gusty day around town. The winds will gradually relax a little bit as we get into the evening hours, but still a breezy and gusty evening ahead of us. And that's why we do have that high wind warning. Lower elevations, winds are going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting to 50 plus. Higher elevations will be 30 to 40 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting to 70 to even 80 miles per hour. So we have a wind advisory for the Cumberland Plateau and back into Middle Tennessee, a high wind warning here in the valley and all of East Tennessee, and a tropical storm warning over into North Carolina. We've seen a ton of rain, not just over the last 2, 3, but also the last 5 days where many of us, the western parts of East Tennessee, have picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain. The eastern part and parts of the southern mountains from Blount County through Sevier County, we've seen anywhere from 4 to over 8 inches of rainfall, and that's why this is not good news as this wind comes in. Flood watch continues through the day today and tomorrow. We've got major flooding going on over into North Carolina where flash flood warnings and flash flood emergencies have been taking place around the area. There have been water rescues and water is inundating much of North Carolina. With that said, stay on top of the weather situation in upper East Tennessee as well. We do have a slight chance or a level 1 risk for some isolated strong thunderstorms as some of these bands come on through. But as I mentioned, the water is going to continue to rise. Let's talk about the Pigeon River in Newport. I said this yesterday, but if you're joining us from Newport, you need to take action immediately because just by the end of the day, we're talking about major flood stage. The Pigeon River could come upwards of 6 feet over its banks and over major flooding. The French Broad River, also in Newport, expected to be a major flood event as well, 3 feet above major flood stage. It doesn't stop there. We've got the Nolichucky up into upper East Tennessee. Flood stage is flood forecast crest, I should say, is about 15.5 feet, which keeps it in minor flooding, but close to moderate flooding. And we also have the Clinch River in Tazewell. The forecast crest is 14 feet, keeping it right there in minor to near moderate flooding. So flooding and flash flooding is going to be ongoing as the rain continues to swing its way on through. But here's the good news. The rain is not going to be with us all day long, or at least not the heaviest rain like we've seen over the last couple of days or like we will experience here this morning. So as we get into the afternoon and into the early evening hours, the rain should subside. We actually may see a little bit of hit-miss sunshine, but as we showed you, the wind is going to be cranking all day long. Forecast rainfalls just by 7 o'clock here tonight. The heaviest rain is going to be across the Southern Valley. That's where the onset of some flooding and flash flooding risks do exist. Lighter rainfall expected across the mountains and foothills thanks to some downsloping winds, but we'll see some decent rain across the northern Cumberland Plateau and the Northern Valley. Overnight tonight, the storm system's not done. Now, this storm is going to kind of combine its efforts with our upper level low that has been hanging off to our west for the last few days. That's what's helped to bring us all the rain that we've seen this week. So do anticipate mostly cloudy skies as we head into the overnight hours. We'll see a few spotty showers. So through our Saturday, keep the umbrellas handy as we will have a few scattered showers around the area. Not expecting a lot of heavy rain by any means, just some scattered light rain showers, but still unsettled and still rather breezy as we get into the weekend, but not nearly as windy as it will be this morning. Heading into our Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, you can see how we're going to have a little bit more rain around the area. But again, that's going to be on the light side. Now, as we head into our Sunday and highlighting that, we'll go Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, a few scattered light rain showers. Now, as we get into our Sunday, this upper level low is going to start to swing its way through the area. And as we get into next week, it will move its way on out. High pressure builds its way back in. But do anticipate scattered showers throughout our Saturday and Sunday as the wind backs off. So when you look at your rainfall forecast all the way through Sunday night, the heaviest rains across the Southern Valley, central northern Cumberland Plateau. But still, we're looking at the possibility of an additional third an inch to upwards of 2 to 5 more inches across the Southern Valley. Here's that upper level low I'm talking about. This is what's going to linger through the weekend. Look how massive this thing is. Eventually, this thing kicks its way on out. It weakens and moves its way up to the northeast here as we get into the start of next week. Therefore, the rain chances will come down. Everybody's getting wet here this morning, but then that will fade away as we get into the afternoon. Rain chances will stay elevated this weekend, but as I mentioned, just scattered light rain showers expected. The main event is happening for the first part of our day today. And temperature-wise, we're going to see those temps staying in the 70s for the next 5 to 7 days. So make sure you stay on top of the weather forecast every single day, not just when inclement weather moves in, but you'll need to watch that throughout the afternoon. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's 100% free. Just go to your app store and search East TN Weather. The interactive radar gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. Got your daily forecast weather updates that I will post throughout the day today. And your interactive radar, as I just mentioned, not to mention access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee. Again, just search East TN Weather, all one word. Like, share, and subscribe to all the platforms to help provide community awareness about what's going on throughout the day. Have a great day, stay safe, travel safely, and check back in frequently. We'll see you back here soon.
Since 1982, Mike Stevens Homes has built a place for your most cherished and treasured memories. We know the events that take place within the walls of our homes are the stuff of life, and we don't take that responsibility lightly. Our design process starts with you. Every home we build is as unique as the person or the family we're building for. I'm Mike Stevens, and I'd love to talk to you about your new home in your new neighborhood. Let us create the perfect place for your memories of baby's first steps, Thanksgiving with your parents, grandparents, and cousins, and the million treasured moments you'll be thinking of 20 years from now. Mike Stevens Homes doesn't build houses. We build places where your memories happen.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in daddy-daughter dances, home-cooked meals, and bedtime stories. Believe in honesty and an honest day's work. Believe that love and faith make the world a better place. We do, because we believe in you. We're Farm Bureau Insurance, and we don't just believe in Tennessee. We believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
Good morning. Happy Friday. A historic storm has made landfall and is racing our direction. Happy Friday, everybody. We sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. Travel safely and stay on top of the weather situation. You can do so easily by downloading the East Tennessee Weather app or staying online at easttnweather.com. We're talking about Tropical Storm Helene that's continuing to hang strong. It's racing to the north and basically the north and then eventually the northwest at 30 miles per hour. That has been the only savior with this storm system, even though it's brought us incredible amounts of rain over the last several days. The faster this storm moves, the better it's going to be. And that's been the story across parts of the Deep South, although historic for sure. So still expected to be a tropical storm as we get into the 2 o'clock hour this afternoon. And then just kind of linger across much of the region hours, which will bring us unsettled weather this upcoming weekend. But initially, from now through the late morning, early afternoon, the wind is going to be with us. Watch this. The winds are going to be cranking this morning, especially across upper East Tennessee, where we've had incredible amounts of rain that we'll talk about here in just a second. And so power outages due to downed trees are looking likely. The center of circulation of Helene is going to be working its way up across the northern plateau by noon. The winds will shift from the northeast to the south as we get into the afternoon hours. And the winds are going to be cranking for sure all day long. So expect a windy, gusty day around town. The winds will gradually relax a little bit as we get into the evening hours, but still a breezy and gusty evening ahead of us. And that's why we do have that high wind warning. Lower elevations, winds are going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting to 50 plus. Higher elevations will be 30 to 40 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting to 70 to even 80 miles per hour. So we have a wind advisory for the Cumberland Plateau and back into Middle Tennessee, a high wind warning here in the Valley and all of East Tennessee, and a tropical storm warning over into North Carolina. We've seen a ton of rain, not just over the last 2, 3, but also the last 5 days where many of us, the western parts of East Tennessee, have picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain. The eastern part and parts of the southern mountains from Blount County through Sevier County, we've seen anywhere from 4 to over 8 inches of rainfall, and that's why this is not good news as this wind comes in. Flood watch continues through the day today and tomorrow. We've got major flooding going on over into North Carolina where flash flood warnings and flash flood emergencies have been taking place around the area. There have been water rescues, and water is inundating much of North Carolina. With that said, stay on top of the weather situation in upper East Tennessee as well. We do have a slight chance or a level 1 risk for some isolated strong thunderstorms as some of these bands come on through. But as I mentioned, the water is going to continue to rise. Let's talk about the Pigeon River in Newport. I said this yesterday, but if you're joining us from Newport, you need to take action immediately because just by the end of the day, we're talking about major flood stage. The Pigeon River could come upwards of 6 feet over its banks and over major flooding. The French Broad River, also in Newport, expected to be a major flood event as well, 3 feet above major flood stage. It doesn't stop there. We've got the Nolichucky up into upper East Tennessee. Flood stage is flood forecast crest, I should say, is about 15.5 feet, which keeps it in minor flooding, but close to moderate flooding. And we also have the Clinch River in Tazewell. The forecast crest is 14 feet, keeping it right there in minor to near moderate flooding. So flooding and flash flooding is going to be ongoing as the rain continues to swing its way on through. But here's the good news. The rain is not going to be with us all day long, or at least not the heaviest rain like we've seen over the last couple of days or like we will experience here this morning. So as we get into the afternoon and into the early evening hours, the rain should subside. We actually may see a little bit of hit-miss sunshine, but as we showed you, the wind is going to be cranking all day long. Forecast rainfalls just by 7 o'clock here tonight. The heaviest rain is going to be across the Southern Valley. That's where the onset of some flooding and flash flooding risks do exist. Lighter rainfall expected across the mountains and foothills thanks to some downsloping winds, but we'll see some decent rain across the northern Cumberland Plateau and the Northern Valley. Overnight tonight, the storm system's not done. Now, this storm is going to kind of combine its efforts with our upper level low that has been hanging off to our west for the last few days. That's what's helped to bring us all the rain that we've seen this week. So do anticipate mostly cloudy skies as we head into the overnight hours. We'll see a few spotty showers. So through our Saturday, keep the umbrellas handy as we will have a few scattered showers around the area. Not expecting a lot of heavy rain by any means, just some scattered light rain showers, but still unsettled and still rather breezy as we get into the weekend, but not nearly as windy as it will be this morning. Heading into our Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, you can see how we're going to have a little bit more rain around the area. But again, that's going to be on the light side. Now, as we head into our Sunday and highlighting that, we'll go Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, a few scattered light rain showers. Now, as we get into our Sunday, this upper level low is going to start to swing its way through the area. And as we get into next week, it will move its way on out. High pressure builds its way back in. But do anticipate scattered showers throughout our Saturday and Sunday as the wind backs off. So when you look at your rainfall forecast all the way through Sunday night, the heaviest rains across the Southern Valley, central northern Cumberland Plateau. But still, we're looking at the possibility of an additional third an inch to upwards of 2 to 5 more inches across the Southern Valley. Here's that upper level low I'm talking about. This is what's going to linger through the weekend. Look how massive this thing is. Eventually, this thing kicks its way on out. It weakens and moves its way up to the northeast here as we get into the start of next week. Therefore, the rain chances will come down. Everybody's getting wet here this morning, but then that will fade away as we get into the afternoon. Rain chances will stay elevated this weekend, but as I mentioned, just scattered light rain showers expected. The main event is happening for the first part of our day today. And temperature-wise, we're going to see those temps staying in the 70s for the next 5 to 7 days. So make sure you stay on top of the weather forecast every single day, not just when inclement weather moves in, but you'll need to watch that throughout the afternoon. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's 100% free. Just go to your app store and search East TN Weather. The interactive radar gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. Got your daily forecast weather updates that I will post throughout the day today, and your interactive radar, as I just mentioned, not to mention access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee. Again, just search East TN Weather, all one word. Like, share, and subscribe to all the platforms to help provide community awareness about what's going on throughout the day. Have a great day, stay safe, travel safely, and check back in frequently. We'll see you back here soon.